I had retired, and it was at the Vine Street Grill in Hollywood, and I was doing a showcase there a few years ago, and this fella didn't want me in there because he didn't know a thing about me. But I asked this fella who was producing me, said, well, who's there now? He said, Mose Allison. I said, why don't you go ask Mose Allison who Charles Brown is? Mose Allison told him, says, listen, that's where we got all our stuff from. So then he decided to give me a 2 nights in the Vine Street Grill showcase. He gave me the worst 2 nights, Tuesday and Wednesday night in Hollywood, where nobody was coming out. But the Los Angeles Times gave me a big write-up, and Leonard Feather and all of them, and they said that this was the legendary Charles Brown. They had long lines between Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard. We played that night, and this redhead lady came in with another fella, and she, when I would sing, she would say, "Oh, Charles, oh," and just, enjoyed it. But I didn't meet her, and when we at intermission, the guy said, "That was Bonnie Raitt sitting out there." The Rhythm and Blues Foundation wanted to give Pioneer Awards to people who never received any kind of royalties. So they had a little program there before we received the awards. A lot of people were there, Lou Rawls and a lot of other people were there. So then after we finished, the television camera came around, and they asked me who would take the young people up into the blues, And I said, Robert Cray, and I said that Bonnie Raitt. So when they finished the TV, she said, if I ever get into power, you would be the first one on my show. So then after that, Bonnie Raitt won 4 Grammys. Then they arranged a tour for her. Then they arranged this tour. Then they were asking about me, Charles Brown. Her audience, 5 and 10,000 and 20,000 people. At that time, they stood up for me, a lot of them. And then Bonnie Raitt said, everywhere we went, she said, Charles, she said, my fans really love you. Ooh. Bonnie Raitt is a wonderful person. Blues are 12 bars. So a ballad singer, it's a style that you have a bridge. Great songs have bridges, 32 bars. But I wasn't singing really blues, I was singing ballads and things. But once the recording company making money off you, a great big hit, they keep you in that mood, bluesy mood. So I don't say that it's a great thing for me, but the colored folks, they say Afro-Americans now, but loved me because I introduced them to sweet love songs where these people from Chicago were playing, I want to kill my baby, so-and-so, and it was just a change of venue. When I did Drifting Blues, 1945-46, it made a great big hit. It's one of the best records of 1946. In my heart, that was my goal, to do the love songs.
You know, baby, I wish I knew why I'm so in love with you. You know, honey, no one in this world will do. So save your love just for me. Ooh, run away. If I were wise, Charles Brown would run away. Like a fool in love, I'll stay. Praying.
When I won the amateur contest, I was working at the Broadway department store as elevator operator. And he had heard me that night, and he came there and he said, Charles Brown, are you the one that won the amateur contest? I said, yes. I said, he said, well, I said, do you know Ivy Anderson? I said, I know of her, because she sang with Duke Ellington. I got it bad and that ain't good. I said, I love her. He said, well, that's my wife, and she has a restaurant, she and I. So he had a little blonde piano there with a spotlight. He said, sit down to that piano. And he put the light on. He said, you look good. He said that I don't want to hear anything but semi-classics. We don't want any kind of other songs in here, because he heard me play the classic. So I played June Barcarolle by Bach. And he said, that's what we want to hear. So then he said, if you want to go down to the Musicians Union, if you want to work here, he said, I will put you in the Musicians Union, give you a union card. I will put a tuxedo on you, and all you have to do is smile. I'll tell you my first time to play the piano, when my grandmother took me to a music teacher. These little guys would come by and said, sissy, sissy, sissy. I said, Mama, I don't want to play no piano. She said, shut up, little boys. Them little boys be calling your sister gonna be paying to see you one day. Well, my mother died when I was 6 months old. 1927, my dad came down to spend the Christmas with us in Texas City, Texas. My daddy said, would you come with me and get away from your grandmother, my mother's mother? I said, yes, Dad, I would come with you. He said, don't you tell your grandmother. So in the meantime, I didn't tell her. But after the Christmas, 1927, he came to steal me February 8, 1928, and a train killed him. I can remember that. These two men came up, and the white fellas, and said that I was with my Aunt Dee. And I answered the door, and I said, he said, little boy, where's your mama? I said, my Aunt Dee's here. My mama ain't here. He said, well, tell her Aunt Dee to come to the front. So she came there and said, what is it? These two white fellas said, do you know a Mose Brown? She said, yes, this is his boy's daddy. He said, well, he was hit by a train, and I think he's in the hospital, and I don't know whether he's dead or alive, but you should go there. John Cedar Hospital, emergency. And I just went to crying and hollering. I said, well, I know a train hit my dad. He had to be killed. But then they went on over there and whatnot. But now, getting down to the funeral, my grandmother wouldn't let me go to the funeral because she said that it would stunt your growth, you know. But after a time, after my grandmother sent me to college, she told me one thing. She said, Charles Brown, she called me Blunt sometime. She said, you better be glad your daddy didn't take you, because they were cotton pickers. They went from one farm to the other. They didn't have an education. They picked cotton, picked up potatoes still planted. And I mean, this wouldn't be my side of the story. And my grandmother saw to it, because a promise on my mother's dying bed that she would take care of me and give me the best that she could. And so that was how I got into this music.